On top of the world, there was a name, a sound, a symbol of unshakable power. Nokia, before the empires of glass and polished metal, before the applause, there was the title, a force not born in Silicon Valley, but in the cold forests of Finland. A giant that started with paper and rubber and reinvented itself to connect the world. In the late 90s, the future had a shape, a weight in your hand, the feeling of rubber buttons under your thumb. Nokia didn't just sell cell phones. It sold a promise, connecting people. And it delivered. Remember the Nokia 3310, the legend, the indestructible, a piece of technology so robust. It became a meme about the end of the world. The cockroaches would survive, and your Nokia 3310. But it wasn't just strength. It was simplicity, humanity, a technology that didn't intimidate. It invited. The colorful covers you could swap, the ringtone composer, the first time you sent an SMS, and the game, that game, Snake, a line of pixels on a green screen that addicted an entire generation, a global obsession before social media. That sound, can you hear it? The Nokia tune, the soundtrack of an era, echoing in streets, offices, and homes from Helsinki to São Paulo. In 2006, the world was theirs. Half of all cell phones sold on the planet carried the Nokia name. Their profits were greater than all of their competitors. Combined, they were Apple, Google, and Samsung, all in one. An empire of perfect hardware, innovative, beloved, ubiquitous. They were the future. They were forever. Or so the world believed. If this memory sparked something in you, if you feel the nostalgia for that time, subscribe and leave a like, because every great story of power has a brutal chapter about its fall. January 2007, San Francisco. The tech world holds its breath. On stage, a man in a black turtleneck, Steve Jobs. He doesn't introduce a phone, he reveals a new philosophy. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. He shows a rectangle of glass, fragile, with no physical buttons, with a battery that barely lasted a day, and that only worked on a single carrier. And in the Nokia empire, in the corridors of power in Finland, the news was met with disdain, with a laugh. A cell phone without a keyboard. Consumers want to feel the buttons. It's too expensive. It's a niche product. Nokia CEO Alipeka Kalisvu was confident. Nokia sold millions of phones to everyone. Apple sold the luxury product to a few. There was no threat, but they didn't see it. The war was no longer about hardware. Nokia was a master at building the body of the device. Apple was creating its soul. The revolution wasn't in the glass. It was in the touch, in the interface, in the swipe of the fingers, in the simplicity of an operating system created for the internet. And then the masterstroke. 2008, the App Store. A door that opened to the world, an invitation for any developer to create for the iPhone. The value of the phone was no longer what came in the box. It was what you could put on it. The phone became infinite. Nokia had Symbian, a powerful but old operating system, a fortress of complex code. Publishing an app was a nightmare. Slow, expensive, bureaucratic. Its store, the OV Store, was a ghost town, while the universe of possibilities exploded on the iPhone. Pride became blindness. Leadership became complacency. They were the empire. And empires do not bow to outsiders. Inside, chaos was setting in. Departments at war. Projects that never saw the light of day. The company that connected the world could no longer connect with itself. They tried to fight back. They launched their own iPhone killers. Devices with resistive touchscreens that needed force. That didn't have the magic. They were echoes of the past. Actually, this point was the fall inevitable. What do you think was the fatal mistake? The initial arrogance, the software failure, or the internal wars? Leave your theory in the comments. In 2010, Juan Lashopi, a new CEO. Stephen Elop, a former Microsoft executive. He sent a memo that became famous, the burning platform. He described Nokia as a man on a burning oil platform. He could stay and die in the fire, or jump into the icy waters of the ocean. The fire was Symbian. The icy water was an alliance. The world expected Android, the obvious path. But Elop chose Microsoft, Windows, Phone, a decision that would seal their fate. A third ecosystem. Elegant, different, but it arrived too late to the party. Developers didn't want to bet on a third place. Consumers didn't want a system without their favorite apps. Nokia jumped from the burning platform and drowned in the icy waters. The decline was not slow. It was an avalanche, a free fall, from 50% of the global market to 15% to 3% in less than 3 years. The streets that once echoed with the Nokia tune now lit up with the glow of other screens. Finland, a nation that saw Nokia as a national treasure, watched in shock. The blow was economic, but it was also emotional. It was the end of a dream. In 2013, the final blow. The news that stopped the tech world. Nokia's cell phone division, the jewel of the empire, was sold to whom? To Microsoft, the same partner that was supposed to save them. Stephen Elop, the man from the memo, orchestrated the sale of the company he led to the company he came from. The empire had fallen. The titan was dead. The story of Nokia is not about the failure of technology. It's about the failure of vision. They had prototypes of tablets and touchscreen phones years before Apple. But they shelved them. They were ideas far ahead of their time, or maybe far ahead of the courage of their leaders. They built the best phones, but they forgot to build tomorrow. They focused so much on their own throne that they didn't see the world outside. No longer wanted a kingdom. It wanted a universe. Today, the Nokia name still exists, strong in network and telecommunications equipment. But the part that lived in our pockets has become a story, a powerful lesson, written in every cell phone we touch today, that no empire is too big to fall. No leader is immune to blindness. And that iconic sound is now an issue, the longing for a simpler time, where the biggest worry was beating the high score in Snake. If this story made you think about the giants of today, imagine the stories we have yet to tell. Subscribe and turn on notifications.